You've been lied to. What you're eating isn't real food. It's chemistry, plastic, and psychology, designed to manipulate your brain, damage your hormones, and keep you going for more. They know exactly how to make you crave it. They've spent decades and billions engineering foods that hijack your brain. You're not weak, you're not undisciplined, you're addicted, and it's not your fault. This isn't food. This is a carefully designed chemical product, one that's making you fat, sick, and addicted. Today we're going deep into the science of processed food addiction, the health consequences, and most importantly, how to take control back.
When it comes to obesity, the way that we've understood the problem is it's a failure of willpower. People are just making bad choices, they're somewhat lazy, it's basically their fault.
As our health reporter Kelly Crow discovered, it's a highly competitive, highly secretive industry with one goal: food that is simply irresistible.
I actually used my entire paycheck on groceries.
It was a wake-up call.
This is common knowledge, and I think everyone knows what processed foods are, but people still don't understand what exactly processed food is. There are two definition layers: processed and ultra-processed. Processed food is any food altered from its natural state. That can be any form of processing as long as it's not in its natural state, including cooking and freezing. Then there are the ultra-processed foods. These are factory-made substances, not recognized as real food. Obvious examples are chips, soda, and candy. But also breakfast cereals, plant milks, protein bars, soy burgers, vegan cheese. These are industrial formulations with 5 or more ingredients, including additives you'd never find naturally. Think emulsifiers, artificial flavors, texture enhancers, synthetic sweeteners. These products are stripped of nutrients combined with synthetic chemicals and are designed for long shelf life, not human biology. So the additives aren't just preservatives. They override your body's natural satiety signals. Your body doesn't recognize them. Your cells don't thrive on them, and your brain, it becomes a slave to them. So now let's talk about why you're addicted, the neurological warfare. Processed foods don't just taste good, they're scientifically designed to override your brain's defenses. They exploit the same neural pathways as drugs and gambling, literally. Here's how they hack your biology. 1. The dopamine trap. Every bite of processed food spikes dopamine, the reward neurotransmitter. Foods like Doritos or cookies are optimized for this, via salt, fat, and sugar in perfect ratios. Impossible to stop eating. This is called the bliss point. Companies use sensory-specific satiety, varying flavors and textures so you never get bored.
These companies rely on deep science and pure science to understand how we're attracted to food and how they can make their foods attractive to us.
There's science behind that crunch. Yogurt feels that way in your mouth for a reason. The food industry is even researching the connection between the taste receptors on your tongue and the corresponding chemical reaction in your brain. The result? Carefully engineered combinations of salt, sugar, fat, and chemicals deliberately designed so you can't eat just one.
Ever notice how you can eat a whole bag of chips, but not 5 plain baked potatoes? The other thing is sugar. Sugar spikes dopamine 150% higher than whole foods. But the crash leaves you craving more, just like a drug. Repeated spikes blunt natural dopamine sensitivity, leading to compulsive behavior. There's a real study on rats pressing levers for sugary foods instead of cocaine. Second satiety signals blocked. Processed food overrides leptin, your satiety hormone. Artificial sweeteners and high fructose corn syrup confuse the gut-brain axis, so you eat more but feel less satisfied. So it's like a reward without nutrition. You get pleasure, but your body still craves nutrients, so you keep eating. A 2019 NIH study found that people given ultra-processed foods ate 500 plus more calories per day, involuntarily, and gained weight fast, despite being told not to. 3. Cravings, which is just nutrient deficiencies if you didn't know. Constant cravings means something's missing: zinc, B vitamins, magnesium. Processed foods are empty, triggering hunger for real nutrients you never get. That's why you can eat a whole bag of chips, then you still feel empty. Your body is begging for minerals, protein, fat-soluble vitamins. But you gave it edible chemicals.
This is the other part of the body that fascinates food scientists, the mouth, the way food breaks between the teeth, the pressure of the bite force, the sound of the crunch.
It's the noise, and the noise, of course, amplified by the fact that your jawbone is connected to your ears, and you really hear that crunch quite loudly as you bite. But it's also the physical requirement to chew on something and to crunch it. Just distracts you. It pulls your mind onto what you're eating.
This leads us to the biological damage of processed foods. This isn't just about weight gain. Processed foods are silently destroying your body. Chronic inflammation. Seed oils like canola, corn, and soy are loaded with omega-6 PUFAs, which are highly unstable and oxidize easily, promoting low-grade systemic inflammation. This is linked to arthritis, depression, skin aging, Alzheimer's, and heart disease, despite what you've been told. Insulin resistance and blood sugar chaos. Refined carbs spike glucose, leading to insulin overproduction. Over time, this leads to fat gain, mood swings, fatigue, PCOS, and type 2 diabetes.
There is no growth without insulin. If you're consuming excess, or if you're consuming things that drive insulin, and the higher your insulin goes, the more fat you're going to lay down. Worse yet, that fat then releases proteins that feed back on the liver and make your insulin work even less well. And now you've got insulin resistance, and you're going to drive even more insulin up and more fat gain. And you can't get the fat down until you get the insulin down.
Fatty liver and visceral fat. High fructose corn syrup overloads the liver, converted into fat. This results in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease in teens and kids. Hidden abdominal fat leading to hormone disruption and cardiovascular risk. Gut microbiome destruction. Emulsifiers like polysorbate 80. And preservatives reduce microbial diversity. Your gut barrier weakens, leading to leaky gut, autoimmunity, mood swings, depression, and anxiety. Brain fog and mental health. High glycemic diets increase depression risk by 35%, and artificial dyes have been linked to ADHD in kids. Hormonal disruption. Additives, pesticides, and packaging leach xenoestrogens, which mimic estrogen, causing fertility issues, testosterone suppression, estrogen dominance, and early puberty in girls. Accelerated aging, advanced glycation, end products form in processed foods, leading to wrinkled skin, stiffened joints, and they damage collagen. Nutrient deficiency. The result? Fragile bones, thin skin, weak immunity, stunted growth, and poor cognition. The consequences are worse than you think. The obesity epidemic, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, gut damage, and mental health decline. Don't start lying to yourself. Oh, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation is the favorite lie of food companies. There are also the so-called healthy processed foods, and I'm going to explain why they're still junk. The false health foods include the granola bars, whole grain bread, plant-based meats, which makes no sense, oat milk, diet soda. They might seem clean, but they're still ultra-processed, still nutrient-poor, still addictive. They use health-washing tactics, using labels like natural, organic, low-fat, high-protein to distract you from real ingredients. What to look for? Amount of ingredients used, unpronounceable names. Most of the times those are toxic chemicals. And fortified. Fortified, that just means the nutrients were missing to begin with. How do you quit processed foods? Step 1. Purge your kitchen. Don't just cut down, eliminate. Throw it all out. If it's not in the house, it can't tempt you at 11 p.m. Step 2. Eat nutrient-dense, real foods. Base your diet around organ meats, red meat, seafood, eggs, raw dairy, butter, bone broth, fermented foods, seasonal fruits, and raw honey. Fill the nutrient gaps. Most cravings are signs of deficiency. Focus on food quality, not just calories and macros. Step 3. Heal your gut. Add kefir, yogurt, and raw cheese. Remove emulsifiers and preservatives. Step 4. Set your environment. Unsubscribe from junk food sites. Follow primal nutrition pages like The Natural Way. And surround yourself with people who value real food. Step 5. Expect detox signs. Every ultra-processed product is a psychological trap, which you were engineered to fail. But you can break free, not with willpower, but with understanding. Understanding what food is, what your body needs, and what your ancestors ate. You don't need another package fix. You need real nourishment, real fuel. Processed foods broke your health, but ancestral foods can rebuild it. If you're ready to unlearn the lies and reclaim your body, subscribe to The Natural Way. We dig deeper, we go primal, and we return to what made us truly human. Make informed choices about your health. Try improving what you can, and make peace with what you can't. Thanks for watching.